I was ready to go to the back of this page, but this is actually page 3, and I did not think about these 2 pages, and I think it's not necessary, but this might interfere all this. So maybe this page needs a more bigger secureness. So I'm just gonna flip this over. This is going to be page 3, and I'm gonna start with one big page which will secure this page. Alright, so I'm so sorry, but nothing to worry about. We're just gonna flip this page over, so yay! We can do that. Easy peasy. Okay guys, so yes, we are going to start with a big page that folds to the left, just to be sure that our page will be protected. So we're going to cut this, and we are, well, you also can measure this fully or a little shorter, that's totally up to you, and just make a mark out of this. And if you want, of course, I want a little thickness under, so I'm gonna make an extra fold line in between, so it's a large 1/8 extra. So we can do a lot still behind this big protection page. Here we go. Put some tape on. We're gonna put this on nice and on the correct spot. Here we go. Nice big protection page, which we still have loads of things on the inside that we can do. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna keep this as flat as possible with I think only decorations, and then we're going to go inside, and here we need to make space right here. So big pages. So here we can do loads of things. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I have an idea, and I worked it out a little bit, so this is my sketch on what I want. We're gonna make a waterfall tunnels for, and then we're gonna, so it slides these nice booklets inside, which is marvelous to add extra pictures on here, especially if you're gonna split this in 2, then you can have loads of pictures, but you also can put it this way, so it's totally up to you. So let's make 4 of those. Put this away for a moment. I'm gonna be saving the bulk. We're gonna do the 120s. So first we're going to cut 9.5 by 4. So I can cut, by the way, another one, since we do need 4. Alright, then we are going to score 1/2 inch, 4.5 and 8.5. Let's do that again. I'm going to show you the note. 1/2 inch, 4.5 and 8.5. Those are 2, so we definitely need 2 more, but first gonna make these. Then for the little booklets we are going to cut 7 5/8, 7 5/8 by 8, and we're gonna fold this in half. So make sure your 8, no, I'm not saying that correctly, your 8 is not gonna fold down. It's the 7 5/8 that's going to be fold down in half. That's the only thing that, otherwise it does not fit. Here we go. So just one more time. So it's an 8 by 7 5/8. And the 7 5/8 is going to fold halfway. Alright, now I have 2 made, but I need to make 2 more. But first I'm going to show you the measurements. So we're going to make 4 waterfall tunnels. Cut 9.5 by 4 inch. Score 1/2 inch, 4.5 plus 8.5. And for the booklets you're going to cut 7 5/8 by 8. And you're going to fold the 7 5/8 in half. Okay, those are my measurements. So let's create those 2 first. So you're going to fold everything. Nice. You also can use your liquid glue, that's totally up to you. Here we go. Now that's one. And then if you have your little booklet, it should fit nice in here. Alright, that's the idea. Okay, so we're going to fold. I'm going to put some tape on or glue. We're going to fold, and this one backwards. That's it, and your booklet will slide nicely in here. Alright, so that is done. Let's make 2 more with the measurements I just gave you. Okay guys, I have them finished with my tape. The only thing is, do I want this on this page? Or do I want something else on this page? So, to be sure that I am, I'm gonna grab a piece of paper that's this size, where I can put this on, so I can lift this up if I want, so I still can have a nice big pocket underneath. Is that an idea? I think I like that. So what if? What if we're gonna grab a piece of paper, or maybe you will have something left that fits. Yep, this fits nice. This is a little wider than the pocket, but I do like the same size. So I'm gonna cut mine a 4-inch, the same size as those pieces are. And I am gonna score a 1-inch. And do we need something? Well, maybe a 1/8. Just a 1/8. Just a little bit to be safe. Okay, a 1/8. Just a little tiny 1/8 space we want. All right. Now let's put these all behind, and let's grab our first one and let's add that on. So our first tunnel, nicely even with the top and even with this piece of paper. Alright, let's go to the next. And the next, I like to stay 1 millimeter away from this piece right here, okay? Just to let it slide easier. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is nice and straight, and then I go with my 1-inch hinge above. I'm gonna stay just slightly away from the top, so it slides even easier to the top. Let's do that with all pieces. So I'm just gonna move till this is correctly on this piece of paper. Then I'm gonna watch where my 1-inch hinge is. I'm gonna stay away just a little tiny bit and glue it on. Let's do the last one nicely on top. There we go. Okay, the last one we can skip, I think. Or at least the bottom, and we can skip that. That's definitely a piece that we can skip. Let's cut that off, and then we can leave this on, or we can even cut this one off, but I just don't know just yet what I want. Alright, put some tape on that hinge right here. Make sure that your 1/8 is not glued down. Here we go. Okay, so let's grab our page back. And now, where do I want this? Well, I have I had an idea on, well, this is on here, that I have a 1-inch, a 1/2 inch away from here, and then I still have place for a nice big pocket right here. So that was my idea. So I stay away 2.5 inch. That was my goal, to glue this down right here. So 2.5 inch, I'm gonna stay away. move it to here so I will see better. So 2.5, I have my mark. Here we go, and now I can flip it all to the top. That's marvelous, because now you still have a nice big page. Okay. So we have our waterfall pages. So yeah, do we want this completely? Yeah, it's not necessary. You also can cut this off. It's up to you. I'm gonna leave it now, but it's up to you. Alright, so here we have our little booklets, so we still see what we are doing here, what the meaning is with all these pages. So again, I like to have a waterfall in an album, and this is such a large one, I thought, why not add something more on a waterfall than just a simple waterfall. Alright, so all these booklets can gently go inside here, loads of place then. And then this also flips completely to the top, and then you still have a nice big page here. So what I'm gonna do here is a nice big pocket, so I still can add something below. Yep, that's the idea. And if you, well, I was thinking if you want to slide this in this pocket, then it stays there as well. It's not necessary because we have a big page right here, but you can. Okay, you can. That is possible. So yes, that's the idea. How deep do we want this small pocket then? Well, I think a 2.5. That is just the edge of this one, so I still can slide that a little bit inside. So a 2.5 pockets we're gonna make with the 120. Can we make it this? Nope, then it's too small, so we need to make it this direction. So a 2.5 means that I'm gonna cut my paper 3 to score 1/2 inch and 1 to the side. I feel that my dentist is getting loosed. My denture, not my dentist, my denture is getting loose at the bottom. I'm at my 6 weeks. I'm at my 6, not 6 weeks, my 6 months now that I had my total extraction, and I'm still on my journey. It's time to get my eventually the dentures, but the ones that did the extraction and the ones that did my immediate dentures, I don't like them and I like to change. So thank God I just can choose wherever I want to go. So I am going to a few different places, and there where I find the one where I feel comfortable with and who gives me the correct informations that feels good. There I want to let them make my adventure, my ending, not my ending, I call that my eventually dentures. And I definitely, yeah, I am thinking, I'm 99% sure that I want implants in the bottom jaw, because it does not stay well. Well, some people say, well, just wait till you have your eventually dentures, it will stay better than the ones that I have now, your immediate dentures. But yeah, I don't know if I do it right away, then I'm quicker going off of all of that, because I am so tired of everything that it will not fit, and wow, the glue is killing me. I put glue in below and the upper jaw, just to let it all stay better, but each time when I eat dinner or eat something, it will getting loose, and oh god. So at least 3 times a day I need to put new glue in, and it really annoys me, but yeah, okay. So here in Holland we have the possibility to get implants in our bottom jaw, and we also get that for our insurance and everything, so why even bother to not put them in right away. But yes, I know it's not always that it goes well with those, I know that, so maybe I maybe I need to try it first with the normal dentures. So yeah, I'm still doubting on that. Alright, so this is how the page looks. So this flips all up if you want. So we have a big pocket that we still can use. You can still put something behind. And if you want, you now also can use this pocket to put these under, so it stays a little bit better with this page. It can be done like that. See, then it all fits a little bit secure, but it's not necessary, but it is cool. It is cool to pull these all out and then lift this up, and then you can get to your nice big pocket. I think you even can put a pocket right here if you want, and then this goes on top. But I think for now it's okay. What do you say? Yeah, I do like this. So cool. Yep. I'm satisfied. I hope you are too. I'm ready to decorate. But first I'm gonna put some glue in. In my dentures. Sounds so ridiculous. Okay, let me see. I definitely like to use this as a little frame. So let's see, we do have loads of little pieces that we can use. This is definitely gonna go on here, but we do need a smaller one. Otherwise I can't glue that little piece on. Go. There we go. Glue this on. Okay, this fits nice. Yes, yes, yes. Nice small black edge, so it's just strong enough. Yes, okay. So this looks nice if we're gonna put this right here. I actually want the other ones as well with a little thing to pull up. So what if we do need, I'm gonna cut right here so I can use those. Alright, let's cut a few and then decide which one that we want to use. I'm not going to use all the little leaves around it. So I'm just going to cut these straight up. This looks nice. Of course, a blue one. This looks nice, doesn't it? Yeah, and then I will think that I will go for 2 purple ones. And then I'm going to glue these down on some black so they will better shape. But yes, I like this. I just have to be sure that this does not overlapping. So that is why I'm checking the first one. So I'm going to make sure that the other ones as well point a little higher. But yes! God, I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I can still use this, but cool. I was just thinking, can I not use maybe the back to make this even a little bit better purple? That's an idea. Okay, nice purple edge. Always nice. And I need another one. And then this one actually needs a blue one. Okay, then we just go for it. Just a little small edge, I think will pop up these better. Alright, I'm gonna cut that out and also gonna glue it down on some black for some reinforcements, and then I'll come back to you. Okay guys, I did not glue anything down yet, but God, I like this, I guess. So what I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna start with gluing these down. So you still can decide what you actually want. Here we go. I still need to tell a lot about my holiday, because I was getting for the second day and the third day The turntable was actually quite, well, funny is a big word, but so the plan was that we go to the nearest town from our hotel, so it was a short bus drive, and there we could visit a very old train station, and then there was a market in that village which we could join, and then we should have some time left, and there, so, but okay, so we went to the city, we went to the train station, but there was a guide already waiting for another big group to show and tell, let me put it this way. So we got out and we wanted to explore the train station by ourselves, but we were not allowed. Okay, so the guide was telling us, no, stick to the group, stick to the group. So, yeah, I don't make any offense for everybody, but I don't like all the explaining. I like to explore myself, and I don't like to listen to guides. So, yeah. I was pretty annoyed that we could not explore anything for ourselves, and I was just going to step outside because I don't want to listen. I don't. Especially when he was constantly ticking, constantly, and you can't do this and you can't go there. No, I don't want it. So I went outside and I just decided to wait on a group, and later we hear from our guide, our travel, what was the name that I was giving her yesterday? Oh, I don't know. Anyways, she was telling that she did not plan the guide. It was just well, not an accident, but it was just an extra that he was there with this group, and we could join him. So, okay, but later when we came back, because our bus was standing there, later when we get back, there was nobody at the train station, and we could go anywhere that we wanted. So at that point it was maybe just not a good timing that he was there, because that was not the plan, but she agreed with him that we could go along with him. Well, I glued it down upside down. Wrong. This needed to go this way. So unfortunately that was a time sewing thing that was definitely not needed. So unfortunately we spent way too much time there at that train station. It was not much to see. Okay, so so then we go into the city with the completely group, and right there was another event that she could not know. So the half of the city was not closed, but it was pretty much busy with that event. So the market was placed somewhere else and much smaller than the normal Saturday market. Well, okay, she could not know, so that was not her fault, but yeah, it was not nice, of course. But so we went to the city, but we did not have much time because we already needed to go pretty fast. So we barely had the time. It was quick. The two people that was walking with us really wanted to have a nice cup of coffee before we went back to the bus, but there was so little time, so I said I will walk slowly back to the bus. I don't want to sit here because it's rushing. So so we got back to the bus nicely on time. But yeah, we actually wanted to explore this city way more than we eventually did. So, but yeah, the time flies by. But yeah, it was too much rushing things, unfortunately. But yeah, okay, that can happen. But yeah, that day went really way too fast. Go by. And that was the only afternoon that we went back early to the hotel, so I had no idea why then that we needed to go back, because we could spend much longer. But yeah, somehow the program says that we, yeah, no idea. That day was really messed up. Anyway, it was the only afternoon that we could explore a little around the hotel, but it was not much. That was not much. Alright, but this I really like, and this I had for this pocket. I think that fits marvelous together. But that day definitely showed us how it could go with, yeah, a group holiday. At that time we definitely needed to stand up and tell her we don't want this, skip this. If we can't look at this train station, then we go to the city and we're gonna come back later. So that was actually a way better plan, but not her fault. She meant well, and she told us afterwards that, yeah, the guide would not mind us to join, but God, it was a pain in the beep. Alright, so that is done. Of course the back still needs to do, but the first look is always the most important thing. I think I like this. I already pre-cut this as well for a nice background, nice and big. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, nice, nice, big extra pockets. Love it. Yep, cool. But still loads to put in. Nice big pockets. And if you want, you can put these in here if you want. That is totally up to you. Then it will hold a little bit better, I guess. And this page is, what? Not necessary. It is not necessary. You can. But if you just leave it outside, then it's also nice. Yep, I like it, guys. I like it more and more and more. Yep. Alright, so we still need to do loads of decorations, but I first go to this page. Let's see, what can we do right here? Okay. Let's think of something. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna grab my 120 again. And I like to make actually a nice big pocket. Also to secure this. But also to give us the opportunity to add more of our bigger pictures. So do I go fully? I did have a nice strip to save here a little bit the bulk. So let's do that. It's just a leftover piece, so I'm gonna use that. And then we just screw and cut. And I'm gonna decide how deep that we want the pockets. Let's say at least 5 inch. So this overlaps this one. So 5 inch it is. Here we go. Let's put some tape on it. And I need to tell you the next day. The next day, guys, we went to a castle, and when we went to the castle, it was actually a little bit hilarious, because there was, and she could not know as well, there was a murder. There was a woman, a young woman, 32-year-old, was murdered in another town, but she lived there in that town where the castle was, and the mayor decided to give a, yeah, how you call that, yeah, not a silent thing, but there was something to do. That means that all roads were closed and all the restaurants and shops were closed, as if it was a Sunday. And so we could visit the castle, but not as long as we supposed to be. Okay. Because otherwise we could not go back down to our bus. So yes, of course we decided to visit the castle, but yeah, in less time than normal. So our lunch was a really quick one. We barely had time, and there was also not that much to choose, so we chose the closest one to the castle, and that was actually a way too fancy one for us. Oh my god, but we decided, well, we don't have much time, so let's do with it. And so we sat down with another couple for our group. And good heaven, we could not understand the menu, and we should leave. Afterwards, we should leave. We should leave because, yeah, we're not that good eaters, not handy eaters, not easy eaters, and we could not see that much. But the waiter helped us a little bit, and I told him that we would love to have a normal piece of meat, and he pointed at the duck. Oh, okay. Let's do the duck breast. And we get a small pre-food before our dinner came, our lunch came. And that meat was so delicious. So I had a good vibe. Did I put this on? I totally forgot. So yeah, I like this big pocket. Quite simple but doable. So good heaven, it was so crazy. I need to tell you this first. When the lunch came, I saw it was raw meat. I'm not that kind of person that loves that. They were like, oh my gosh. Oh. My hubby ate it, but it was also not his favorite meal, and I did not eat it. I only took my knife and just barely cut a little meat off. I just did not like it at all. Yeah, so that was a little odd, but yeah. Okay. When we were done with the lunch, the waiter came back and asked if my meal was not nice, and I told him, well, perhaps if you are a raw meat eater, and I don't eat raw meat. I'm so sorry. And okay, but I wish he told me before, because I told him that we did not understand the menu and that we were just looking for a normal piece of meat. And if I say I'm looking for a normal piece of meat, then raw meat is not a normal piece of meat. But okay, our fault. We just was actually supposed to leave right away. But okay. And it was expensive. Good heaven, it was expensive for not eating. But okay. Then we picked up, the bus picked us up again. So we were on time back down the village. And then we visit the Elephant Rock. Very nice, by the way. Just a small thing that came along the road. And yeah, then we actually did get back as well to our hotel. There was not much either that day. So actually that day also went a little not planned, but yeah, it was very nice. But so yeah, we sat actually pretty long in the bus for a small visit. But okay, she could not know all this. The visit was nice, the town was nice, but yep, I could spend 2 more hours if I wanted to in this nice town. So actually 2 days were a little bit going wrong. Alright, so I'm gonna decorate this a little bit more, of course. I'm gonna see what with what. I think I'm gonna use the black and white more with this. Oh, I could use this blue. But God, this is such a big page, so I'm glad that I did this already. This also does not fit, but I'm definitely gonna use this for the bottom, and then I will see what I'm gonna use for the back. Alright, so I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, I did some finishing up with the decorations, but not that much. I did the pink one with the black and white. That I did. And this one, and then the rest. Oh yeah, and of course the back of this one. I put a big booklet inside, and I did not do anything about these booklets inside the waterfall just yet. And then for here, my big pocket, created this black and white to cover it up, and then the pink that comes back with this background. And then I added a big booklet inside and 2 big photo mats as well, which we can decorate. Not necessarily, but just to show you that anything is possible. And then we have this big piece. So maybe I'm gonna make a nice big frame. I always love that. Maybe we even can use this one just to have a nice big frame. So it's an idea, just checking. But for me it's time to cook my dinner, so I will see you next time. Bye bye. Okay guys, I was just ready with finishing up the back with this, and now I do have quite some little pieces that I could use for my pop-up thing. So I thought, why not first go to the back and start a little with decorating this. So each time if I have papers, then I will. So I started with these 2 pieces. I could split this in 2, but I made this this size, because if you're gonna pull this out, it does not matter. But yeah, and now the next things, I am gonna place this down, and these ones I am going to place this down in this direction. So yep, and then continuing, of course. So just have fun and see what little pieces that you have that you can use. Maybe this is also the same. So, and then if you don't have anything else, then just we're gonna continuing with the next page. But if you have pieces that fits, then please use that first. All right, have fun. Okay, till so far I am done. So I did use the little square ones, and then these I'm gonna keep intact, same as these ones. So these 4 are all going to be this size. So I'm just gonna put this away now, and for the next following step, when I have more pieces of paper left, yep, this page is done, and I do have now quite some leftover pieces, and for those who follow me longer than today knows that I can't throw anything away. So what I love to see is how good the pages are fitting. So what I like to do is use this all, cut your little pieces all the same, like say a 1/2 inch or so, and glue them all together. So yeah, fun. I always love to do that. You can use, what I normally like to use is just a thin layer of print paper. I like to use double-sided tape, and then I'm just gonna start cutting these and see what I have, and you never know where I'm gonna use these leftover pages for. So just have fun, put some music on, grab a cup of coffee or tea, and just do it. Use it all, guys. Okay guys, so my leftover pieces. I made 4 strips. That is always easy to use, even for nice little frames or so whatsoever. So I really like these, using all your leftovers. So these are actually all my leftover pieces. So maybe you will say, please throw them away. Nope. You never know where you can use it for. Alright, so that is, and then I have this little piece left. So my first 2 paper sets are done in these 2 big pages. So that is done. So let's go to the next one. Cool.